Have you ever found yourself sitting in a quiet room when your dog suddenly begins to bark at a completely empty corner? It is a chilling moment, as if they are witnessing something invisible to the human eye. They act as your constant protectors. They experience sudden bursts of energy, known as the zoomies, immediately after using the bathroom, and they lick you with an intensity that suggests they are trying to communicate something of vital importance. However, the reality is that most of these peculiar behaviors are far from random. Over the next few minutes, you will come to understand exactly what your canine companion is attempting to convey to you. It is essential to watch until the very end, because the specific reason they lick you might fundamentally change the way you perceive your relationship with them. Sometimes your dog will suddenly freeze in place, their entire body tensing as they begin to bark at an empty corner of the room. You follow their gaze looking for the source of the commotion, but there is absolutely nothing there. To your eyes, the space is vacant, but for your dog, the room is anything but empty. Dogs possess the ability to hear frequencies that exist far beyond the limited range of human hearing. They are capable of detecting the faint sound of footsteps behind thick walls, the noise of distant doors closing blocks away, or even the subtle electrical hums from appliances that you will never notice. Furthermore, their sense of smell is so incredibly sharp that a scent carried through a tiny crack in the window can feel immediate and intensely real to them. What appears to be nothing to you is actually a world vibrating with signals to them. In many instances, that bark is not born of fear, it is a deliberate warning. They are telling you, I hear it, I am alert, you are safe. You might be watching your dog as they sleep peacefully, only to notice their paws suddenly start to move. Their whiskers might tremble, and their legs might even begin to run in place as if they are in the middle of a high-speed chase. While this can look a bit scary or concerning to an owner, it is a completely normal physiological occurrence. Just like humans, dogs enter a stage called REM sleep, which is the dream phase of the sleep cycle. During this specific time, their brains become highly active. They may be mentally replaying a long walk from earlier in the day, chasing a ball through the park, or sprinting across a vast open field. Those small, involuntary muscle movements are simply the physical body reacting to the vividness of those dreams. Puppies and senior dogs tend to do this more frequently because their sleep cycles are generally lighter and more easily observed. So when you see your dog twitching in their sleep, rest assured they are not in any danger. They are simply dreaming, and there is a very high probability that you are a character in those dreams. There are times when you are fully ready to continue your walk, but your dog becomes absolutely locked onto one tiny, seemingly insignificant patch of sidewalk. They sniff it with such intensity that it seems as though that spot contains the ultimate secrets of the universe. To them, it essentially does. Dogs experience the entirety of their world through the medium of scent. A single spot on the ground can provide them with a wealth of information. Who was there previously, whether the animal was male or female, if they were feeling confident or anxious, and even if they were healthy or suffering from an illness. For a dog, this process is very much like a human scrolling through a social media feed, except their information is written in the language of smell. When they linger for a long time, they are not trying to be stubborn or difficult. They are simply reading the latest updates from their environment. You open the refrigerator door, and they appear instantly by your side. You pick up the leash, and they are already waiting at the door with excitement. But the moment you say, "Come here," they suddenly act as if they cannot hear a single word you are saying. The truth of the matter is that they hear you perfectly well. Dogs are absolute masters of the law of association. If the command "come here" has previously resulted in the end of their fun, the conclusion of a walk, or the loss of something interesting they were investigating, they may simply decide that it is not worth responding to you immediately. This behavior is not an act of simple disobedience. Rather, it is a calculated strategy. They are also incredibly sensitive to the tone of your voice. If your voice carries even a hint of frustration or uncertainty, they feel it and react accordingly. Sometimes they are even testing the limits of their boundaries just to see what the outcome will be. They are not ignoring you. They are making a choice. A siren wails as an emergency vehicle passes by, or perhaps a certain piece of music begins to rise in volume, and suddenly your dog joins in with a vocalization of their own. These long, steady, and high-pitched sounds closely resemble the howls of wolves, who are the direct ancestors of the modern dog. For wolves in the wild, howling is a primary form of communication used to say, "I'm here," "Where are you?" or "We're together." When your dog howls at the sound of a siren, it is not just a random, annoying noise. It is a deep-seated instinctual response. While some specific breeds are naturally more vocal than others, any dog can feel that ancient pull to respond. In many cases, they are not just echoing the sound they hear, they are actively joining the chorus of what they perceive to be a distant pack member. It is a scene every dog owner has witnessed. They finish their business, and then, without warning, they explode into a chaotic, high-speed sprint across the yard. It looks completely ridiculous, but from a biological perspective, it makes perfect sense. The act of relieving themselves is a moment of extreme vulnerability for dogs. In the wild, this is the time when they are most exposed to potential predators. Once they have finished, that built-up tension is released, often manifesting as a sudden, energetic burst of movement. There is even a specific name for this phenomenon: the post-poop zoomies. Furthermore, when you see them kicking the ground behind them with their hind legs, they aren't actually trying to cover anything up. Dogs have specialized scent glands located in their paws. By scratching the earth, they are leaving behind a territorial message that says, "I was here." It is their way of delivering a signature, and once that signature is set, the celebration begins. Have you ever noticed that your dog stays much closer to you whenever you are feeling sick? They might lie down near you when you are feeling sad, or watch you with much more care and attention when you are being unusually quiet. Dogs do not view you as just an owner or a provider of food. To them, you are a vital part of their social group, their pack. When something feels off about you, whether it is your slower movements, a different tone in your voice, or even the subtle changes in your body scent caused by stress, they notice it immediately. Scientific studies have shown that dogs are capable of detecting emotional shifts through our facial expressions and even through changes in our body chemistry. When they move closer to you during these times, they are not being clingy or needy. They are actively guarding and comforting the most important member of their entire world. Some dogs will gently lick your hands, while others will enthusiastically attempt to wash your entire face. Regardless of the intensity, this behavior is never meaningless. For a dog, licking is a profound form of communication. When they are puppies, they lick their mothers as a way to demonstrate trust and dependence. That primal instinct never truly disappears. It simply transfers to you as they grow. Now you are the center of their universe. When they lick you, they are expressing a deep sense of closeness, calm, and emotional connection. But there is even more to it than that. Your skin carries a wealth of emotional information. Stress and anxiety change your scent in very subtle ways that are invisible to humans but obvious to dogs. They can detect these changes instantly. If you are feeling anxious, they may lick you softly, as if they are trying to soothe you. Sometimes it is an act of pure affection, sometimes it is a form of reassurance, and sometimes it is just a gentle way to pull you back into the present moment. Underneath all of these reasons, however, there is one consistent message: you are my person, you are my pack, you are home. Now you understand that those small, everyday gestures are actually your dog's unique way of telling you that you are their safe place in this world. However, there is another side to their incredible loyalty, one that manifests specifically when someone around you does not feel safe. To learn more about this, click on the next video and discover how dogs can sense when a person carries the wrong intentions. If you don't, you may never fully understand how deeply and constantly they are watching over you. If this journey into the heart of your dog's behavior has changed the way you look at your loyal companion, please subscribe and like our channel. We are dedicated to uncovering the hidden history and the silent languages that have been overlooked for too long. Help us grow this community of understanding. The next treasure of knowledge will be revealed very soon.